Hi, my name is Sean and this is my video presentation for Social Foundations. The artifact I have chosen for this assignment is a classroom job board. This is the job board I saw in the classroom during my first practicum. As you can see, it's simply made using a pocket chart. In one row are the various jobs with representative pictures, and in the row beneath it is strips of cardstocks in which students have written their names on. As you can see, the jobs include classroom and library toy cleanup, milk and food delivery, floors and chairs, iPads, teacher's aides, hall monitors, recycling, makerspace cleanups, pencils, school tools, lights, line leader, and messenger. Here's another example of a job chart, which is also made using a pocket chart. As you can see, there are a few different jobs like paper person and door holder, but it is more or less the same idea. Finally, here are a few more examples of job boards using envelopes and popsicle sticks instead of the pocket chart. The only difference that I can see is that this one up in the top right corner wouldn't have enough jobs for all students to have jobs every week. Now, I'll briefly explain my teaching philosophy. As I mentioned in my philosophy, I want to be the teacher that both students and their parents are hoping to have when they enter my grade. In order to achieve this, I believe there are 3 important things to keep in mind. First, in order to learn effectively, kids need to be excited not only about what they're learning, but excited about school in general. Just like Bill Tucker mentioned, for some kids, just coming to school most days can be difficult, and when they do show up, that's considered a success. In order for kids to be excited about coming to school, a safe space needs to be created where not only does every student feel welcome, they also feel respected and know that they have an important place in our classroom. And finally, we need to value the voices of students. After all, it is their education. So, how does the job board support my teaching philosophy? First, it gives students responsibility in the classroom. Establishing and explaining these jobs at the very beginning of the year when you're also outlining your classroom expectations is key. My placement was in a grade 1-2 split class, and I was astounded at how responsible these kids were able to be. Each week, they were excited to see what their new job was. Once they had their designated jobs, they knew exactly what to do. For example, the 2 kids that were on milk delivery each week would automatically go and get the milk at the beginning of lunch and give it to the students that need it. Or, as another example, when the teacher needed to do attendance every morning, she would ask the class, "Can I get an iPad?" And the one person who was on the iPad job would automatically go and get it for her. It's simple things like this that make kids feel special and that they have more of a purpose at school other than just being a student. Some jobs even had special perks. For example, the teacher's aides were able to sit on chairs during carpet time, making the excitement of the job just that much higher. I also believe that it reinforces the idea of community. Everyone needs to work together in order for the classroom to run smoothly, just as members of a community or society have to work together to contribute. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, I will create a safe space in my classroom where every student feels welcome and important. This is why I would ensure that the job board I have in my future classroom has enough jobs for each student every week. This is a quote from Douglas Stewart, who says that the purpose of education is to foster the all-round development of students, cognitively, affectively, socially, culturally, morally, and physically, and the acquisition of skills, knowledge, and attitudes necessary to find gainful and satisfying employment and be active and valued or contributive members of society. Giving students the extra responsibility in the classroom is one step closer to achieving these goals, because the students in my classroom will most definitely be active and valued. I would also like to mention that while creating jobs for students and setting expectations for those jobs is beneficial for so many kids in so many ways, it's also good for classroom management. From what I've experienced, kids want to help out as much as they can. They love helping the teacher and feeling important. So, imagine if you hadn't set out specific jobs for them, and you asked the class, "Can I please get an iPad?" and 5 kids all rushed to try and get you an iPad first. Or as another example, there was no line leader job, so every time the kids needed to get lined up for break or another class, there's a fight or argument over who gets to be at the front. I believe that having specific jobs every week up on the wall for everyone to see creates a more orderly classroom. And good classroom management leads to an environment more conducive to learning. which is obviously beneficial for the students. I would like to finish off by saying that if you are ever stuck trying to think of classroom jobs, we all know that there are multiple resources on the internet that can help. The resource that I found is from Scholastic. I liked this resource a lot because it had jobs that also benefit the greater school community. Just like this one, The Secret Admirer, where students write an anonymous letter to a school custodian or a member of the office admin, thanking them for their work. And that is all I have for my presentation. Thank you.